Hello, everyone, and welcome to Age of Bison. I am Dunamai, and I am with my good friend McCleves. How you doing?
Yes, doing very well. Excited for this match. We always like to cast Madonna. He's a good player, and Radovan Dust also a good player. I see him on Twitch a lot, and like especially in Lionheart's Twitch, he likes to comment a lot. And he's playing Hausa. Hausa is my main, so of course I'm very curious about what he's going to do. But let's see. I heard that Sweden has a bit of a special. I don't know if it's specifically an anti-Hausa um, build, but he does something, a bit unorthodox. So I suppose that's nice.
hmm so, again, as McCleves said, we are spectating Madonna, which is a resident Sunbro and one of the best members of our clan in terms of elo and general skill. On his main squeeze, Sweden. Um, on the other side, Redovan playing Hausa. On the map, Guyanas. McCleves, do you want to introduce the map?
The map, yes, of course. This is an interesting map. I think this is pretty good in terms of gold mines for Sweden. I'm not entirely. I'm a little bit less familiar with Sweden, but just looking at the layout, it's pretty good. The side trade routes are very nice, but they are shared between the players. You can take one, but it's hard to really defend them because well, they're they're on both sides of the map instead of
Mhm.
being, they're not that safe. There's different natives, and these are very good for archers specifically. So I would say that Fulani on this map are actually really strong. And Hausa does like to take a TP or two, so yeah, we might see some action over there. Especially these 2P, they give some. I think they give poison damage to archers or something. It's something weird like that, and
So
it's pretty
poison
good.
damage
Or
to
just 10%
the
damage.
2P archers, but also plus
Okay,
10%
okay.
damage to all archers, including the crossbowmen. And we see
Of course.
with Madonna's deck that Madonna is actually considering using the good old crossbow and pike combination. And given the deck, I would think this is a rush with 600 wood and 700 wood.
You know
Sweden.
what's weird? He's got a
Mhm.
pike bow deck without archers in the deck. Like he doesn't have the 8 crossbow shipment, or is that now a Sweden thing?
Sweden got its 8 crossbow shipment removed, I think
Oh, okay,
6 months
that
ago
makes
or
sense.
something.
My bad. I should have known
Um,
that.
no problem. So two things to note about Sweden is that yes, they got the logistician that give them the advanced arsenal in H2, because Sweden as a civilization gets advanced arsenal for free in H3, but the logistician gives you the ability to get the arsenal in H2. So you can get infantry breastplate and the drummers for 5.5 speed pikes, which is pretty good.
This
The
is
other the other
this is a
thing you
very
get.
funny contrast, by
Mhm.
the way. I'm sorry for cutting you
No
off. There's
problem.
a very funny contrast between Sweden and Hausa, where Sweden gets advanced arsenal by default, and Hausa doesn't actually get any arsenal tax until H5.
That's true. And so you can get very good pikes, which will have plus 15% and another plus 15% plus
Yeah.
infantry breastplate. So you're looking at plus 40% HP on those pikes in H2, which is absolutely amazing. Um,
Can we see Hausa's deck? Maybe to.
yes.
I don't
So
want
he's
to cut
aging
you
up
off
with
again, but
Songhai.
yes. Oh, he's got
And
the 3 TP card. This is interesting. This is one that you don't see often.
but that could be very good in this map, especially if you want to go for
Yeah.
archers. Um,
Seems a little bit greedy, but he's already got 2 trade posts. You see that, and he's building a palace in base as well,
mhm.
as well as a university. So he's setting up his infrastructure right now, and I expect him to. Um, well, does he have his university on influence or on XP? Because this is something yeah, he's got it on influence. I think Well, he's probably not. He's probably expecting Sweden to be, torping and like booming a little bit. So I respect his decision, but I think when you're expecting a rush, which you might not, but when you're expecting early pressure, then it's very worth it to actually go for experience on the university.
Mhm.
So we've got javelins. Maybe he's expecting a SAR opening from Sweden, and he
So we
scouted
have the
these torp wagons too.
pike and the Dominions. So maybe the Javelin Riders has headed straight up to the top wagons. But here's the interesting thing about the crossbow pike for Sweden. Everyone knows that Sweden has trouble dealing with goons early on. But here's the thing, when you spam crossbows, you don't have that much trouble against goon in H2.
Yeah. Yeah, crossbows have a good multiplier against dragoons comparatively, and like much better than versus heavy infantry, for example. And Hausa is really not heavy infantry civ at all, unless they really go for a gun. But
So good to
yeah,
know that
I'm
he
curious.
has Ganache, by the way.
He does have it, yeah, and he does have enough influence too. With him, I don't think he'll. Here come. Here comes a batch of Fulani. So he is going for Javelin Fulani, very classic Hausa combination. Here comes 700 coin. So he's probably looking to age up.
Which is weird considering the current macro and the second war camps. Maybe it's just to spam raiders.
Yeah, you could be right. It's interesting. I think Fulani are it's good to have those against bikes. And okay. So we see Sweden actually taking the trade post. Probably count. Yeah, he's getting some. He's already getting the technology that boosts his archers. So he's going to rely heavily on these natives, and also the 2P are very very tough units.
So actually, they were changed. They're not really tough in terms of HP. They have 88
No,
XP,
no,
HP, but in terms
not
of
really.
attack,
The
they're
damage.
absolute
Yeah,
monsters.
yeah, exactly. They have a good. This was a big change because they used a pretty short range.
Yes,
It's
now
interesting.
their range is really interesting. And
Okay, there
so
comes Hausa.
Radovan immediately
He,
recognizing he doesn't want to mess with
yeah,
that.
and the pikes. Look how fast he kind of tricked with those pikes because they would have been hit by the Fulani otherwise. So that was really good. And I think okay, it's eight. We're 8 minutes in. This could really hurt.
5
Hausa
raiders
if
from
it goes
Radovan.
wrong.
Radovan got
Yeah,
his
Raiders are
pop
going to
from
be helpful, but
Songhai. Oh, and
yeah,
kind of a missed
he
micro here
used
from
500
Madonna,
influence
but
to get that.
very good. Right after.
Ooh, Raiders die so fast though.
Yep, that's Pikes. Ooh.
He's got them in cover mode. This is pretty well done.
Uh, it's unfortunate because
Oh,
it
sorry, these are two
should put
PRs.
them
Oh, okay.
forward as a damage
I
sponge,
confused
but
yeah, in cover mode, yeah, I agree. And now he decides to pull his archers away with them, which is also a smart use of bikes. Since bikes have this 5 speed.
very
Yeah, I
interesting.
confused these 2Ps with the what are they called?
Right?
Blowgunners, but yeah, Torps and
Um,
Wood.
Tops on wood, and it's not a
You
bad
don't see
play.
this very often. Yeah, when you
0.25
need
wood is
this
a
much wood.
half villager.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, this is a big raider pop. But you see how fast those die. Like he barely touched them, and there already one goes down. But it does look like the raiders or the Hausa player is actually pushing Sweden back now. There's a big fight messed out, but
and good micro, switching the pike and the bow, doing a drag box micro. Something that's very important when doing crossbow and pike. This is one of the most important thing to remember.
yeah,
Like, make sure to have this wave of aggression when the pike go back to the cavalry to surprise them.
Yeah, drag boxing
As
is really really important with
as we have
oh,
kind of a problem with the shipment point, my guess is yeah, this is 8 bikes. My guess is yeah, he shipped the bikes.
yeah, I shipped it. Yeah,
So
definitely.
Madonna has 19 bikes, and I wonder
I
what he's
really
gonna
like
do with.
yeah, sorry. I
Go
really
ahead.
like Hausa's composition into this, the archers and Cav. The Cav are really squishy, but he's able to, you know, damage Sweden, and if he does get a good flank, these are going to be absolutely devastating. But Madonna is good in the micro here with the bikes. He's going to get them in front there, and
And the
yeah,
Fulani are
Raiders are just
chasing the
way too squishy.
bikes, but here,
Yeah, that's
but
good.
the truck riders
Oh,
are
shock
here.
riders.
With a good micro, Madonna could completely wipe this.
Yeah, the shock riders are a huge problem now for House. He doesn't have. He should have like one batch of javelins to fight that, and this is going
Questionable
to be devastating.
engagement. The shock riders, though, are
Yeah,
doing work.
they are doing absolute work here. The Raiders all that. This is a good trade, I would say, for Madonna.
Yes. And
Man, these things are strong. 25 damage, 1.35 rate of fire, and
yeah.
promotions. It's really good.
And also they're tanking for the 2P that are really
Yeah,
the true damage dealer. Like if you compare to a crossbowman, like 17 at 3, and this is 20 at 1.5. So this is equivalent to 40 damage.
that's insane, really. And yeah, that's an insane damage. And 2.5 against dragoons as well. So Fulani are not really an option either. Wow, this is very tough for Hausa to deal with. I think Hausa to really deal with this would need a mass of account because crossbow are not very good against those. And but I think it's too late for Hausa to actually do that.
The
Although he
2P
does have
actually got
quite a
buffed
high
and they have
score.
2 times against heavy infantry. 2P are
Yeah, but they're so
insane
squishy.
now.
They're so squishy though. So if you just get in range
True.
of them,
Yeah.
they will die. But yeah, I don't really see Hausa doing that right now. I think he's sending Pulaku codes, so his economy is going to be pretty decent. But Sweden's economy, you know, it's always one step ahead. And that's how Sweden feels to me. You know, when I play into Sweden,
Mhm.
usually they don't go for an archaic composition, but Sweden is very very tough for Hausa
And
actually.
look at that top.
Very often.
Look at the
This is
production of that top.
insane. Yeah,
This
lovely.
top is
Really,
straight
this
up
is
2 villagers. This, I mean,
Hmm.
more 1.5 to be fair, but
Yeah,
send ironworks and this is 2 villagers.
yeah, exactly. He did send blueberries. We saw so, and he's mixing in the stars now, which is a good call because Hausa doesn't have any anti-cav, and Raiders
Mhm.
trade really poorly against any other cav basically. That isn't step riders because yes, those are also a thing for me.
As we have a small
Okay,
raid group going
he's
around,
probably looking for torps, but yeah, needs to take care about his mass because it's not going to be able to beat the Sweden mass over there. And he does need to mix in, I think, at least one batch of javelins just to beat those hussars.
and hand infantry, hand cav hit points is coming in, which means these
Yeah,
pikes
great synergy here.
are going to be absolute damage sponge, especially with Hassan in the front. We
Yeah,
are going to see,
and
I
cover
guess,
mode
like
is
150 HP unique Michael or something.
no,
So cover
no.
mode will be 300.
Sorry. Yeah, we'll have to point out that Fulani did get buffed this patch, so the damage against heavy infantry is a bit better now. But yeah, I still think that the Sweden mass right here is just much better.
And good
Is it?
micro. The
Yeah,
pikes are
this is
exactly
good
where
micro.
they're supposed to be on the flanks, completely
And the stars are tanking
annihilating
like crazy as well.
the Hussar there. They're good damage sponge. The final one, cover mode.
And this is why I was trying to say that Hausa needed at least like one batch of javelins just to catch these hussars that would keep up. Now
Mhm.
he probably didn't expect the hussars to be there, so uh, you know, if to. be kind. There's a bit of a back rate there, but he did lose his entire mass. So this is a painful battle for the Hausa player here.
Well, my
And
guess
just now
is
Sweden is getting Engelsberg, so this means that his eco is going to take off even more.
yeah. You thought that was a rush. That's just the beginning. So yeah, we do have a bit of villager being killed, but being spared by Madonna because he's like a generous god. Oh, never mind.
I wouldn't say that too early. He's never been this generous to me. He's going he's going for the barracks. There's another barracks, but Radovan calls it.
Yeah.
He's had enough. I can see why.
GG. And a very interesting game from Madonna. Very happy to finally see the crossbow pike composition from Sweden that wants to gather wood anyway for the tops. So I'm very happy to see that. Um, it's interesting that we didn't see leather cannon that cost the same as crossbow and pike, which is food and wood. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, very interesting, especially against Hausa that wants to spam the goon. You have now these 2P, these crossbow, which are essentially a deterrent. Like go ahead, spam goons against me. I dare you.
Yeah, I think into this Hausa probably wants a can, but very yeah, I would be very surprised to face this with Hausa. So I can see the problem with this. Hausa did have a much better economy. We'll see, but it looks like I would say that Madonna made better use of the map. Also with the natives, taking the archer
Mhm.
buffing natives that really helped them. So yeah, well played by both players actually. Uh, the Hausa mass was quite impressive. Especially since his units are quite a bit more expensive than the units that Madonna made on average.
Mhm.
Um, but it didn't matter in the end because yeah, Madonna's army was just more effective.
Mhm. I think the good thing Madonna did was make the Hausa player believe he would do endless crossbow pike and then hit him completely blind with the calf switch.
Yeah, and those shock riders came in clutch. They did so much damage. Those were really strong.
Yeah, and I
And
think we
Hausa
can
not having
see
any
it.
anti-cav at that moment, that was even though the fight looks a little bit equal, but the shock riders
Let's
don't cost
yeah
population, remember? So
yeah. So I'm
and
gonna go
same
with the
for the 2P.
count.
Yeah,
So balanced fights until
yeah,
the moment I think it was the moment Shock Rider came in, and this is a
yeah,
slaughter.
yeah. And then the second fight is just horrible.
And this time it's
Or very
Hussar.
good, depending your perspective, of course. But
And these Hussar, keep in mind, they are also buffed by the hand cav and hand infantry hit points because it's the same. So it benefits the pikes and it benefits the Huss. That become really good damage punch.
yeah, and props to being able to micro for both food and wood and food and gold units. That's really well done.
He got a bit of help from these guys, I guess.
Macro. Yeah, yeah, really good
Oh.
placement on this map with trees being close to mines everywhere. It looks
Mhm.
like
And
that's pretty
if you
that's
look
pretty
at the
cool.
LOS, this is one of the advantage of putting torps on trees. He could see all the map. Like these raiders could
Mm,
basically not raid
yeah, that's a big
anything.
advantage of, of this build indeed. Really nice.
All right. Well, people, if you like what you saw, you know what to do. Like, subscribe, do all the thing, as Spades would say. And I guess we'll see you in the next one. McCleves, any final thoughts?
No, see you in the next one, basically.